Hello again, everybody. All translators of the Quran, when translating the most frequently recited verse that contains the founding principle of Islam as the religion, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, they use the pronoun he as the subject or theme, and the divine name, Allah, as a predicate. Or to put it in Arabic grammatical terms, مبتدأ وخبر. Say he is God, the one. Say he is one God. This doesn't reflect the original meaning in Arabic. Some Arab grammarians argue that the pronoun he is the subject or theme, and the divine name, Allah, is a second subject or theme. Or to put it in Arabic grammatical terms, مبتدأ أول مبتدأ ثاني. Others say the pronoun is ضمير الشأن, a pronoun that denotes a general state of affairs. In this video, we'll talk about how to translate pronouns that may give different shades of meaning in either Arabic or English. In the last video, we said we can divide any object into categories and subcategories to organize information like we do in sciences. So, we first need to break the text down into paragraphs, paragraphs into sentences, sentences into words. Once we know how to translate each part, we can piece them together in a text. If we could make each component remarkable, then the totality should be remarkable too. Without knowing these components, one may not be able to understand different combinations of words, sentences, paragraphs. We talked earlier about how to translate the first part of speech, the noun. Today, we'll move to another part of speech that can function as a noun. In English and Arabic, pronouns can have the same position and function of nouns or noun phrases. They can be used to avoid lexical repetition of a word, phrase, or a sentence. In English, pronouns can be divided into 8 categories. Personal pronouns like I, you, we, possessive pronouns, my, mine, demonstrative pronouns like this, that, interrogative pronouns like who, which, reflexive pronouns, pronouns ending with self, themselves, himself, indefinite pronouns, compound words consisting of any plus one or body, anybody, nobody, anything, something, relative pronouns, who, whom. Other types of pronouns can also be added to the above list, like reciprocal pronouns, which are words expressing two-way relationship like each other, one another. Resumptive pronouns, shadow pronouns that refer to the noun or the noun phrase, as in John, I like him. The translation of the above types of pronouns into Arabic is a straightforward process. So, we will rather focus on some aspects of pronouns that are not equivalent in either language. Before we move on, we should bear in mind that the position of the pronoun after or before the noun it modifies differs from one language to another. In Arabic, for instance, we cannot start a sentence with a pronoun that precedes the noun it refers to, like in English. However, the fronting of referential pronouns is commonly used today in Arabic, copying the English style. For example, during his visit to the university, the ambassador said, أثناء زيارته وأثناء زيارته للجامعة قال السفير. This can be rephrased to conform to the classical Arabic style. قال السفير أثناء زيارته للجامعة, by fronting the verb and the subject to the beginning of the sentence. And then we can put the pronoun that refers to the subject later. So, there should be an antecedent to the pronoun in classical Arabic. If the pronoun doesn't refer to any element in the sentence, this is called Adami pronoun in English. This is extensively used in English, but we may also find similar cases in Arabic. Another difference between English and Arabic regarding pronouns are related to gender. Masculine and feminine pronouns can be aligned in both languages, but in English we have a pronoun for neuter, the pronoun it, unlike the Arabic language where masculine and feminine pronouns can be used for neuter or non-human objects. When the pronoun it functions as a dummy pronoun, it doesn't refer to any element in the sentence. Sometimes we can translate the dummy pronoun with an equivalent pronoun in Arabic that doesn't refer to any part in the sentence. It's called in Arabic a pronoun that denotes a general state of affairs, or ضمير الشأن. Or we can find a similar grammatical function to give the same meaning. For example, it's obvious that he has made a mistake. We can here drop the pronoun and start the sentence with a verb derived from a content word that follows the pronoun. So we can say يتضح لنا أنه قد أخطأ. So we change the adjective obvious into a verb and we drop the pronoun. We can also use a phrase introduced by the preposition من in Arabic followed by an adjective. من الواضح أنه أخطأ. Another example. It's believed that knowledge has the power to change our lives. يعتقد الناس يرى الناس أن المعرفة لها القدرة على تغيير حياتنا. Or we can start the sentence with the preposition من and change the word into an adjective. من المسلم به من المسلم به أن المعرفة لها القدرة على تغيير حياتنا. Let's have another example. It's well known that happiness comes from within. يعلم الجميع يدرك الجميع أن السعادة تأتي من داخلنا. Or we can say من المعلوم من المعروف أن السعادة تأتي من داخلنا. Now look at the following simple example introduced by a dummy pronoun. It's raining. You can find that simple sentence, short sentence, translated as إنها تمطر or السماء تمطر. Some call the pronoun it here as the weather it. Therefore, we can use the same word when translating into Arabic as follows. It's cold today. Here, the pronoun it, it's called the weather it. So we can translate it into Arabic. الجو بارد اليوم. One more function of the pronoun it that doesn't take the same form in Arabic. The it cleft or cleft structure, where the pronoun it doesn't function as a subject. For example, it's John who wrote the book. We can say إن جون كتب الكتاب or إن جون من كتب الكتاب. The main function of the pronoun it here in the English sentence is emphasis or exclusive reference that can be rendered into Arabic using the particle in, as shown above. Now we can move to the implications of what we have just mentioned on the meaning of pronouns in each language. First of all, fronting a pronoun can be used in Arabic for a rhetorical purpose. For example, إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. According to the Arabic grammar, you can say نعبدك, worship you, But a pronoun referring to God has preceded the verb to exclude any other one from the act of worshipping. So we have you alone do we worship. Here the word alone is added to give a similar rhetorical function. But we can find some verses where the pronoun shares the same function of the following noun, like in Allah's words, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Here we have two subjects, the pronoun and the divine name. Some Arab grammarians say the pronoun is مبتدأ أول, subject 1, and the divine name is مبتدأ ثاني, subject 2, or theme 2, theme 1 and theme 2. Others argue that the pronoun here functions as ضمير الشأن, a dummy pronoun. There is no reference to the pronoun in the sentence. This style is used in Arabic for making prominence, emphasis, and exclusive focus. To give the same function in English, we can use a cleft structure introduced by the pronoun it. So we can say قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, say it's He, God alone, or say it's Allah who is one alone. If we translate it as say He is one God or say He is God alone, we won't reflect the structural meaning of the verse. Some interpreters of the Quran say the verse responds to those who asked the Prophet to describe God, not to ask about who is He. So God here is the subject or the theme, al-mubtada. The pronoun gives a rhetorical function like prominence, emphasis, and exclusive reference. The same applies to the following verse that starts with another similar pronoun, هو الخالق البارئ المصور. Some commentaries of the Quran, some interpretation of the Quran say the pronoun here is ضمير الشأن, a dummy pronoun. The same function can be noticed here as well. The pronoun is not a theme or mubtada, because in the previous verse we have the same phrase, the same structure. Now we can compare the following translation of verse number 24 in Surah Al-Hashr, and which one is close to the grammatical function in Arabic. In Sahih International we have He is Allah, the creator, the inventor, the fashioner. The Clear Quran, He is Allah, the creator, the inventor, the shaper. Abdul Halim, He is God, the creator, the originator, the shaper. Farid Haq, it's Allah only who is the creator, the initiator, the designer of all. You can notice that the final translation used a cleft structure for the same purpose of prominence and exclusive reference mentioned above. Thank you for watching and see you later.